What's up, Bruins fans? I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. In this video, I'm going to give you an update from everything that has happened at development camp, who stood out, and what expectations with these kids. I wanted to first start off by talking about Matthew Poitras. He did make an appearance this year at development camp due to the team wanting to get him on the ice because he's coming off shoulder surgery. When the injury first happened, Sweeney had this to say about Poitras. Matt has been an important part of our team's success thus far, and he will be missed. Our medical staff has made the recommendation for Matt to proceed with surgery rather than continue playing with an unstable shoulder and risking further damage. His timeline at the time of the injury was 5 months, so he's right on schedule. Even though Poitras was on the ice and doing all the drills, he didn't participate in game simulations as the Bruins wanted to stay on the side of caution. When asked how Poitras felt on the ice, he had this to say: "I feel good. No pain or anything. Obviously, you don't want to rush things. It's still the start of July, and we've got 2 more months until camp starts, so no one needs to rush anything." Poitras surprised a lot of people, including myself, making the Bruins out of camp last year, but I was afraid his size could be something he couldn't overcome with his speed and hockey sense. In 33 games last year for the Boston Bruins, Poitras scored 5 goals and added 10 assists for 15 points, but was only able to play in 33 games after being injured on December 9th by a hit from Shane Dursey that ended his season. Poitras addressed what he needed to work on during recovery and will be ready for training camp this year. "I needed to put on a bit of size. I came into camp last year definitely undersized. There were some bigger guys that maybe I couldn't hold my own against as much. So I think this year is just going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, kind of choose my spots a bit more, because sometimes I take some big hits that aren't necessary and kind of hurt me, and maybe that's why I didn't get a chance to finish the season." I think the Bruins are hoping for a lot from Poitras this year and hoping he can drive the line for the Boston Bruins. Daily Faceoff has him slotted as a 2C for the Bruins, but with Coyle's play last season, I think Poitras would either have to develop quick chemistry with Marchand or have one heck of a camp to slot in at 2C for the start of next year. My guess is he does make the Bruins out of camp but starts on the third line. Sweeney has mentioned he wants to give the younger players to fill those offensive voids that were created when DeBrusk left, so Poitras will be given every opportunity. Our next story is 2024 first-round draft pick Dean Letourneau impressed people and the coaching staff. I'm not going to get ahead of myself on Letourneau as he's just a kid, but from the video I saw, he looked great at camp and showed a ton of potential. He has a lot to learn and he's a couple years away, but hopefully Letourneau turns into an everyday player. Connor Ryan from Boston.com, who was at development camp, had this to say: "The 6'7" center's frame stands out immediately, with his strong skating strides, impressive reach, and sharp wrist shot, painting the picture of legitimately top 6 forward cut from the same cloth as Tage Thompson. Even though Letourneau is 6'7", don't expect him to be the guy out there hitting, as his speed and skill is what's got him this far, and I don't see that changing." McQuaid had a few things to say about Letourneau as well. It's hard not to notice him at his size. His calmness in around the net, good hands, just a big frame, but when you look at him, he's still such a young kid. You probably just get more of an appreciation when you're on the ice for how big he is and how smooth he is with the puck. It just so happens the kid is huge. As much as I wasn't happy when Ullmark was originally traded, I was happy the Bruins got themselves back in the first round, and hearing nothing but positive about Letourneau makes me think they made the right call here. Sweeney mentioned he was the guy they wanted in the first round, and if he went, they looked to move the pick. Besides Letourneau, people won't stop talking about the huge surprise at development camp, which is Oscar Jellvik. Jellvik was a 5th-round pick in the 2021 NHL Entry draft and is 5'11" and 21 years old. Elite Prospects says he pre-scans for teammates, controls skating not to overshoot pockets of space to support plays, gets defenders on his back in possession to extend it, and he hides his next play. There's also some pre-planned manipulation upon receiving the puck. He has played for Boston College last season on a line with Cutter Gauthier, but Adam McQuaid thinks regardless of his line mates, he will take another jump in development next year. McQuaid said he may have had one of the best growth seasons of the group. It was a big transition coming over for his first year. Smaller ice, little things like that, but I think his consistency was the main thing. Like, he played well on a nightly basis. Gauthier is a really good player, but so is Oscar. I don't doubt he can replicate what he did last year coming into next year. Maybe Jellvik and Letourneau will end up on the same line next year, and they could develop some chemistry for the future. Last season, BC in 41 games, he scored 13 goals and picked up 29 assists. As we all know, the Boston Bruins love drafting or signing kids that grew up in the area. It's a running joke anytime anyone from Mass becomes a free agent that the Bruins are in on them. Even before the draft this year, I was looking at prospects and seeing which one was local and truly thought the Bruins might pick one of them. Riley Duran is a Woburn native. He also impressed impressed people at development camp. The Bruins took the 6'2 centerman in the 6th round of the 2020 NHL Entry draft. Duran isn't just surprising everyone at development camp, but Providence Bruins coach said, "For me, to be transparent, I think he was a lot better than I was expecting. Not saying that I had him at a different standard, but we really surprised on how well his game has grown and how confident he was in the American League. He was absolutely excellent for us, and for me, he's probably a little bit ahead of where I probably think he would be at this time. So we're excited about his growth and development. His work ethic, being a great teammate." Last year for 11 games for the Providence Bruins, Duran had 2 goals and 2 assists, but it sounds like he'll have a bigger role with the team this season. Some are saying he is a dark horse to make the Boston Bruins this upcoming season, but I'm guessing the spot vacated by DeBrusk will be filled by Lysell or Merkulov. The fact we now have 3 players people think could fill that role and provide an impact means the future is a little bit brighter than some of us, including me, thought with the farm system in Boston. I do think the Bruins have a lot of work to do filling up the cupboards with some talent, but they somehow, year after year, find players that fit their system and thrive. That wraps up today's video. To stay up to date on all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. If the news breaks surrounding the Boston Bruins, be sure to check out the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you, and I'll see you next time.